thoughts and feelings are simply part of the dream.
Yes.
What would you suggest one do when there are feelings or emotions that come up that an individual doesn't want to feel? I guess just on a practical sense.
Okay, so in terms of practical, that's I had to go through basically the thing about this stillness. If you've been hanging out with it, or in my case, hanging out with my gurus, you can feel like this kind of unconditional love in that space, in that stillness, in that silence. There's this very deep, almost indescribable, unconditional love. You have a feeling come up that you don't like. What's absent from that is that unconditional love, you see? And that's one way that the personal establishes itself and basically like gets its hooks in you or creates a spider web that traps you. Because here's the thing, every drop of you, every single drop of you is exactly as God made it. So the idea that you don't like this drop, you see, is trapping you into resistance to a part of yourself, you see. And the thing about resistance is you can only resist something that's there, which means that as long as you resist it, you're keeping it there. So the thing about unconditional love is that it embraces everything. And the thing about it is that if there's a sensation in your space and your reaction to it is, I don't like it and I don't want it. And how do I get rid of it? You see, then what you've done is you've created much more intensity in the dream. And so in practical terms, when something comes up, a feeling or a sensation, that your reaction to it is, I don't want it, then what it tells you is, there's something more for you to love. So there was a personal process toward the end of my sadhana where I was brought to task with the stuff that I didn't like. And you see, the thing I always had that sense when I was with Baba or Ramesh or Shree, I knew 100% that they loved me unconditionally, 100%. And my sense of it was that they loved me and they saw all of me. They saw stuff I couldn't even see. So it was like, you know, Kent and I used to joke when we were with Ramesh, and we would say, we were Ramesh's final test, because if he could love us unconditionally, he could love anything unconditionally. Of course, there's no test, because the test only applies if there's someone there. But that was our joke. And the fact of the matter is that there came a time where that energy that I felt in my gurus had to be applied to all of the stuff, without exception. I'm telling you, the actual thing, the actual enlightenment is so simple. I described it as I felt I had come to peace with myself, which means that I felt that unconditional love always, in all aspects, completely. And it wasn't like I had said this in a recent talk. So I had come to a place where I felt I was at peace with myself. That was the enlightenment. It was, not what I expected. I expected something much grander than that. And then when Kelly and I had known each other for a long time, but then when we started a relationship, it was an experiment, because I didn't know if that same unconditional love I felt for myself also applied outwardly. It did, but I had no idea. It was kind of an experiment at first, but it wasn't. It was effortless. Of course it did. But it was my first try. I didn't know. So you see, when this stuff comes up, when you still have a personal process and you've got feelings that you're not particularly fond of, it's your job to love them. Even love not loving them. Whatever it takes, you just, as you find whatever it is that you can find that can love you the way your guru loves you. Like, you can know what it is. You can know when it's clean because it feels just like your guru. That was my test. I could always tell, because the ego's off. The ego always has self-motivation. So the ego goes, yeah, I will love this terrible feeling, and hopefully that'll fucking get rid of it. Well, you see, that's not unconditional. And you won't get the same reaction internally to it. You see, places they'll shut down around it, and it won't work. So it's got to be clean. It's got to be really clean. It's got to be the kind of love that loves this terrible feeling and is willing for that terrible feeling to be there forever. Just the way it is. Not healed, not better, not good, horrible, forever. The thing about this that's misunderstood about enlightenment, it doesn't mean you feel good all the time. It doesn't mean things go well all the time. It doesn't mean you don't have crappy feelings. It doesn't mean you never get angry or you never get sad. All those things happen, but your space about them is the same on all of it. It's the same when you're feeling good. It's the same when you're feeling bad. Everything is simply witnessed. Everything, you're just being with everything just the way it is, without any fingers in it trying to get it to be this way or that way. So that's all it is.